Should I put on my YouTuber voice for this?
What up, guys? JaeAIK here.
Hello, everyone. My name is JaeAIK.
Yeah. I couldn't take it seriously.
As you can see on the side, we have a huge, diverse roster of characters. The biggest enemies that we're gonna be facing as Fire Emblem fans.
No named characters as well.
Yeah, no named characters. We try to stray away from named characters. We have an image of Mirim here, but it's more like to represent Wolf Rider, if that makes sense. Yeah, let's get right into it. So this one right here, this Cavalier, the FE6 Cav in chapter 6 that spawns behind you with the Silver Lance. What do you think?
Yeah, dude, this is an end runner right here. This dude has ended everyone's run once. Like you don't remember. You can replay the game. You be like, oh, I forgot, and then he kills like 7 Cavaliers and leaves. Yeah, he's on Paladin level, but hasn't promoted yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's probably
like
like
if
an
I
8
remember correctly, he is like level 17.
I know, yeah, he's
Yeah.
absurd. Yeah. He's got like a total of like 18 strength, I think, which is like way too high in that game.
We call this Cavalier Kaga's last stand. He was really mad that the development team kicked him off. I say A tier. What do you think?
Yeah, A tier for sure.
A tier. I mean, we can bump him up later too, but I think right now A tier is a pretty solid spot. Opposed to Thief that comes in way too early to loot the chests that are clearly meant for you.
This guy's a narc. S tier.
Yeah, S tier. Yeah.
It says, and whenever you catch them, all you get is like, oh, here's a red gem and a fucking chest key. But when you don't catch him, it's like, oh yeah, you just missed out on like 3 fucking like Wyrm Slayers. Oh, I've got 4 Armor Slayers on me and I fought like a hammer. You ain't getting that back ever.
Yeah.
And it's.
Yeah, you're supposed to like speed run through it, but he spawns like turn 2. He makes it to the chest by turn 4 and leaves by turn 5.
And somehow he always steals the effective weapon that was clearly designed for you to have in the next chapter. So the next chapter is the worst time ever.
Yeah. You took the Armor Slayer.
And you have to fight like 17 knights.
Yeah, 17
17
knights. Yeah. And by that point in time, you only have steel weapons. So it's such a good time. Such a good time. But is it as bad as the random Sword Slayer?
Oh.
The random Sword Slayer.
I've lost like at least 40 runs to just he has an effective weapon. My bad.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't account for the Sword Slayer. Ooh, yikes! You didn't
and
check
always...
where he was. Ooh, bummer, dude.
They'll always be randomly in just in a group. Like they won't be like clearly the leader of a mob. They'll just be on the left, and you'll be like, oh, so there's like a berserker and 3 brigands around him. Why does the berserker have a steel axe and the brigand have like a killer axe and an armor slayer? Like what's like what the fuck? Like, why is he got a fucking sword slayer?
Yeah, why does he have a sword slayer? It makes no sense. S tier for me, dude. Always a run ender. You always forget to check, and then even if you are prepared, he just randomly it still feels like he randomly pops up out of nowhere. Killer weapon Myrmidon that you see in chapter 3.
See, this is a like interesting one because usually the killer weapon Myrmidon is the recruitable one. So I feel like it's in a lot of games it's not as bad as it could be.
I agree.
And also because it's an early game Myrmidon, and killer weapons weigh like steel sword, right, or iron or something. Like they're not that much of an issue because like you just have to bank on not getting crit, and if you use the right character, he's only doing like 3 damage a hit anyway.
Yeah, and by that point, you also kind of have a mage and an archer to kind of deal shit.
You're meant to.
Yeah, from
some games are like, nah.
Yeah. You know, I'll put him in C tier.
Yeah,
I don't think he's the worst. What do you think about the priest that has the status?
So the staves?
Yeah, the status staves.
What game?
Sleep.
What game is it?
Silence.
If this is
all of them, man.
No,
honestly,
yeah.
Fire Emblem 8 has that one chapter where you're in that one dude's castle whose name I'm blanking out on, Leon's dad. And then there's randomly like 4 priests that try to silence La Rochelle so she can't talk to Renak anymore.
Yeah, that's so
Oh my
funny.
god, dude, that's so
That
annoying.
shit's so
bro.
funny.
There's also like people usually think like, oh yeah, it's the older games that have the annoying stuffs. Bro, Fire Emblem Fates where they're just like minus portal stats, and you're like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna just freeze you for a little bit.
Yeah, and
Okay,
you're just
cool.
like, what? And then like 4 ninjas are around you, and you're like, oh
Yeah,
damn.
Bummer. Bummer,
That
dude.
sucks. Goodbye, I guess.
Yeah, S tier for me, dude. Super
Yeah, it's
annoying.
it goes annoying as hell.
Yeah. All right, this is the same wyvern from the chapter 6 in Fire Emblem 6, where there's just randomly 3 of them. And they
Yeah,
have,
that
like,
should
19
make
defense
no
each.
sense. Also, and your archers are ass. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just terrible.
Yeah, you have Wolf and Sue.
I mean, Sue's not. Yeah, no, I can't defend that.
Sue's not the worst, but like
He has a horse.
yeah, because she has a horse.
She's balanced. She's like not bad, solely based on how powerful horses are.
Yeah,
And that's it.
And you have Giga Chad Wolt, but like, you
Can't
know,
does she have e-bows though?
Sue. Well, it's enough to use short bow.
I guess.
Short bow, iron bow, dude. Honestly, not as worse as the Silverlance cat,
Nah.
in my opinion.
At that point in the game, you kind of like. You're also like told, like you know they're there from the start. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't-
They kind of just chill until you get into range of them. So you
Yeah.
can always bait it out, but they're still mad annoying. All right, the brigand with Luna randomly.
He's a real one. I'm gonna say it. He's.
Like, I know this is the berserker portrait, but it's the best we could
He looks
find.
cooler. Yeah, he looks cooler.
Best we could find.
I mean, Luna's not. It's not that big of an issue because he just doesn't proc it. But, like,
Yeah, too low
It's
skill
so-
to proc it, but it's like,
yeah.
but like when like it does proc, you can't help but just be like, what the fuck? This thing has Luna.
It's a reminder. It's like
Yeah.
what?
Oh wait, I should be checking enemy skills as well. Yeah, it's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal, honestly.
Nah, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, put him C.
Honestly, I'd put him lower. What do you think?
Probably F. Yeah.
Yeah, not
It's
that
Fire
big
Emblem
of a deal.
Fate, so at that point you have a 100 crit rate fucking Charlotte or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, ballista.
These motherfuckers. These.
Ballista.
I mean, ballistas aren't inherently like. They're not that annoying if the game gives you like a way to deal with them. But so many games are just like, yo, what if we put a ballista here? And then they don't figure out how, like, they don't consider how the player has to deal with this. Like, there's that, obviously, there's like the iconic FE5 chapters where you're like, yeah, this one shot's Leaf, by the way, so just
Yeah.
don't move Leaf.
Yeah.
But the one I always think of is that FE4 one where you just got Fury and you're like, oh, these ballistas are like, they're literally on the top of a mountain, so only flying characters can get to them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, Fury can go up there, but the ballistas have more range than her movement, so she's guaranteed to tank at least 2 shots. It's like, what the fuck?
And guess what ballistas are effective against? Oh
Exactly.
my god. Oh my god.
It's the fucking stupidest shit
Yeah.
ever.
A tier.
Bad game. Like,
You know what?
like
S-tier,
all the other
S-tier.
enemies.
S tier.
All the other enemies on this list are like, you know what? I could see the concept behind it. Ballistas are just bad game design.
I hate ballistas so much. All right, mercenary with a leather shield and echoes.
Dude, this guy's a fucking giga chat. Nah, I respect this dude. Swan's on the other side of the map. He's just got to make it his way to you. Like, he's the playable character in that fucking map, bro. Like, he's the main character. You don't matter.
That is true. That is true. And then he's clearly meant for you to like fight him last, right? So you have to like
Or first.
surround all your units around him to get the fucking shield so that you can use it.
Well, he's like also a really good, like, he's both like a story bit and also a teaching tool for the player. Because at that point, you'd only been fighting soldiers.
Yeah.
So like, he's actually like a good bit of game. Like, he's actually good game design. Like, he's like the opposite of Ballista.
Opposite of ballista. You know, I'll put
Yeah.
him at A tier because he is still pretty early. It's not like an annoyance like the
Nah,
guys
he's
up
not
at
that
top.
bad. You should put him B. I think he's more like the Wyverns because you're given the tools to deal with him, and you know, like, from the start, you're like, okay, I have to deal with this somehow. It gets the
Yeah,
player
you know
thinking.
what? That's fair. That's fair.
The,
I
re-
like-
the rest are just like surprise.
We're Reddit comments.
As a whole, or just Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem Reddit comments.
Sometimes they'd be spitting though, you know. Sometimes
So,
they'd be
you
like,
think they'd be spitting sometimes?
sometimes they'd be like, maybe Thracia isn't the best game in the series.
Maybe.
Maybe it is and not perfect in every aspect.
Oh shit. I remember on the Heroes subreddit back when I was like really into Heroes. I got into an argument about how Nino's better than Pent.
In FE
In the Heroes
like
subreddit.
Heroes or
In the Heroes
no,
subreddit.
in Heroes like if Nino is better than in Heroes or Nino
No,
is better
in Fire Emblem 7. They're like,
Oh.
well, you get
What?
a guiding ring the chapter before, and then the next chapter is like pretty easy to train Nino up to get her
Can we-
to where Pent is. And I was like, dog, if I want to spend 40 turns on a singular chapter, I'll do that. But I don't want to.
Can we just summarize this as Reddit comments from those motherfuckers who don't understand that when you get a stat buffing a permanent stat increase item, you're meant to use it like a chapter later. You don't save that shit for 30 fucking chapters to give to Nino. Like you can save it like a few, like you know, there's strats.
It's like, okay, I guess statistically speaking, right? If we're talking pure numbers without taking into account whenever Nino comes in, sure, Nino is better than Pent, but it's like Pent is good right off the bat. I don't know what they were smoking when they said that.
The only game where an Est archetype is good is Est in Fire Emblem Echoes, because for some reason they gave her like 13 res. So okay, that's the only time.
And she's in a good class for that game.
Yeah, I mean Est is actually like an understandable concept. Anytime they try to do an Est that isn't Est, it's bad. Like,
Agreed. Cantor.
motherfuckers are annoying. This is a real one. These guys just suck.
Yeah, like look,
Okay.
the rest of these a little bit like, you know, he funny.
Specific.
This one, you know what?
Fuck these dudes.
Yeah, dude, this ain't order, but that one is.
Nah. Thief above him.
Thief.
Dude, he's stealing he's stealing my effective weapons. I need that shit.
Yeah, I needed that for the next.
I wanted that red gem. That red gem was everything to me.
Yeah, these two are personal. Wish.
I would put them F tier. I don't think they're an
F
issue.
tier? They're not an issue.
I think that they're like a gotcha the first time it happens, and then anytime after you're like, oh, okay. But their AI is so abusable that you know what's gonna happen. And also, like the biggest argument I hear of like to say witches are annoying is like Clive's got an issue with them because of his res. And they'll always like target lowest res unit or lowest HP. But
yeah.
they don't do enough damage because of how low the speed threshold for doubling is in Echoes, and then also like what the game gives you to deal with witches. They can never really double Clive anyway unless you're getting him to hold like a fucking steel anything. So as long as you like understand, oh, the witch is always going to use fire to attack, which weighs 1. They're just going to hit him once and then he can one round them because they're like 1 defense lol. They're not like Cantors because you learn how Cantors work.
And they're still annoying.
They're still annoying, and they try to switch it up with Cantors too, where it's like, oh, this guy summons fucking dragons. You're like, what the fuck?
Why
Like-
the fuck can this guy summon dragons? Yeah.
Dude, 2 dragons was literally a boss battle. Like,
Yeah.
but the witches don't really switch it up. They kind of they switch it up by there being more of them. I think that the max there is at one point is 3, but usually their AI goes 2 on one guy, and then the third witch attacks someone else, so they can't even like one round someone, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Let's put witches in F. But I think wolf riders are mad annoying. You know what? I'm willing to put them in S.
Yeah, they kind of just ignore the game.
Yeah, they're so
Like-
annoying, dude.
Yeah. Like, I thought Fire Emblem Fates was like the annoying debuff game. But then I played Engage and I'm like, this shit is like, the debuffs are less, but they're more annoying. Like,
Yeah,
just because it's speed.
I agree.
You're like, it sucks. Don't bring this shit back. Next.
All
Keep
right.
it out. I don't want to see
Yeah.
it again.
Bolting tomes.
Just all of them. Just Meteor
Yeah,
2.
Meteor, bolting.
Whatever the fucking dark magic one is,
The
yeah.
GBA one, Eclipse, I think. That just cuts your
Yeah,
HP in
Eclipse.
half. Yeah.
This shit sucks because it's either like hilarious as fuck because they keep missing, because it's like there's no game where artillery tomes are balanced. They're either the worst shit ever, or why do they have 100% hit rate?
I agree.
There's
I
no
agree.
game where
like
I'm
the
like-
GBA bolting tomes, or like the range tomes, they're not that great unless
Yeah,
it's
like-
on Ursula.
They don't hit, but then you play Thracia and like, holy fuck.
Yeah, and you're like, dude, this sucks, man. Like I'm getting rained
Like-
down from above from like 70 miles away.
just have to bank on dodging because he's just gonna target the character he one shots. So it's
Yeah.
like, damn.
So I think B's a fair spot. It's either
Yeah.
really annoying in S or they do nothing in F. So let's just equalize it, put it in B. All right. So this one is Thracia. The first time you play the game.
That shit's S tier, bro. Everyone's annoying. You just the game is just a bad first time experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is.
I mean, the
Then,
story
like-
is a great first time.
No, I think Thracia's story is fantastic. I think there's like that general sentiment between Fire Emblem fans that Fire Emblem stories aren't that good. But Thracia's story, like, one, you being the underdog and you having to struggle, right? It like you generally feel the struggle that you have to go through, right? The shit that Leaf is going through.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, at least narratively it makes sense why I'm getting my ass beat, you know?
I will say, Thracia, I feel like isn't as hard as people think it is, because I think a lot of people, 'cause I think it's by far the hardest Fire Emblem game at the start of the game. Like the first 10 or so chapters are like they just kick you while you're down, and I think that's where a lot of people just go, "No, this shit's too hard," and then quit, and then they think the game's really difficult. But I think like mid game, late game, the game isn't that hard because you have the tools and you've got the characters to
See,
just
but
like, go around. And with.
but it's like I think if you're playing for the first time, you also kind of have to get a little lucky, because if you miss the warp staff, like you're so fucked for like 90% of the fucking late game chapters, or like
I feel like they give you a warp stuff at that point though. I think I agree with the early warp game staff. The early game one, through the early warp staff that you need to like deal with like the ballista chapters. It's like
Yeah.
kind of that shit.
And then
Yeah.
I also think you also have to go down a certain route, and if you don't know how to manipulate that, it's like really annoying too, because one is like all Fog of War maps with like 70 ballistas, and then the
Oh,
other
you
is
mean
like
the route split?
yeah, the route split.
That's just you pick a level right on the map. They make it pretty clear. It's not like
Yeah, but it's like if you don't know that
GTA
shit,
one.
you're like this is
They make it
annoying.
clear on the if you are you reading the story? Because
Okay, maybe
like if
I'm
you're
not reading
reading
the story. Maybe I'm not reading the story.
oh Fire Emblem reading comprehension.
Oh,
My bad. Yeah.
I'm also a Yu-Gi-Oh player, so zero reading comprehension.
Damn, that was like a Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, but this is S tier if you didn't watch Mecha's video.
If you haven't watched the Mecha video, yeah,
Yeah,
and then it's probably like C tier. Yeah, it's not too hard.
yeah, it's not too.
There's like there's like I think there's people like combine the difficulty with how it's annoyance. The game is annoying, yes, but the game isn't hard. Like once you know it, I think.
It's my personal least favorite Fire Emblem. I just think it's mad annoying. All right, zero stat level up.
They're kind of funny.
They are kind of funny. Like
It depends who they're on.
like when you
It's like-
desperately need strength on Ike and you don't get it. It is so
Feel
depressing. Yeah.
Targeted. Like what? 9 strength IQ.
Yeah. Promoted.
Yeah.
With an energy
so
ring.
funny. When with an energy ring, that shit's
Yeah.
so fucking. I was fucked.
Yeah, +0. We'll put +0 in B. Intelligent systems themselves.
That shit's A tier. They made Fire Emblem Heroes like happen. So.
Yeah. They killed
They
Cypher
like-
for heroes? Hell.
But like, even if you like, oh, but intelligence systems really didn't like. They don't really have that big of a hand in Fire Emblem Heroes. That's true. But like, they looked at Nintendo in the eyes. The Nintendo execs in the eyes said, "We're okay with the mobile game."
This will make a lot
Miss.
of money.
I mean, I don't think the game. I don't think Heroes is that bad. It's just like kind of an appalling gacha. It has the flaws of a gacha game, but like tenfold because the free rewards they give can't contend. If
Yeah.
like the free rewards they gave could like contest in value the paid content, then I think it's a fine gacha game. Because then it's just like gambling but fun. But now it's like gambling but sad.
Heroes is what it is. But I think, look, my reading comprehension is clearly not up there. And playing Heroes, looking at some of the skills nowadays, dude, that shit, dude, ChatGPT couldn't write that much, bro. People were joking about how the game is becoming like Yu-Gi-Oh text levels, whatever. But they far surpassed that like 3 years ago. Like the longest
Hell
card
yeah.
text in Yu-Gi-Oh, in comparison to the longest card text in Fire Emblem Heroes, they passed that shit. They're miles ahead, dude. Call that shit Usain Bolt because he's gone, you know? Alright, Fog of War.
There's a banger image.
Dang right. So good.
Where my Silent Hill 2.
They're all fucking annoying.
Yeah, they are all fucking annoying.
Like, fuck
even
Torch
if
Stars.
even if you know like what this like the stage is about, and even in later Fire Emblem games, you can at least see the terrain, right? Just
Like-
before that, it's just black.
It's the annoying one is like they penalize you for exploring, because I swear in most of the games, if you move into the path of an enemy, it just ends your action. You don't get the
Yeah.
choice to like attack them.
Mhm.
So it's
You just
like-
get an exclamation point above your head, and you're like, well,
Huh?
this-
Yeah,
this-
it's
that's
like
it.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Huh? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Huh?
it's like that guy from Fortnite.
I've played a lot of Fire Emblem 6, so that's the one that I can talk about a lot. But like the desert chapter in Fire Emblem 6, they clearly want you to explore, but then you get gangbanged by like the berserkers and the wyverns,
Yeah.
and like you'll still finish the chapter on time, but it's like they hid treasure in that map as well, so it's like kind of annoying.
This category also includes the Fog of War maps that aren't Fog of War, but they're basically Fog of War, because we know what you are. Snow
Yeah.
map,
Oh,
tree map.
oh,
We know what you are, buddy.
Oh man, shoveled snow
Yeah.
yesterday, and my back
Guys,
feels like it's gonna
I'm not
break.
a Fog of War.
Yeah.
Not a Fog of War map,
I'm
brother, I
like, yeah,
swear.
I'm
I
not,
swear.
yeah, but you still
I'm
have to
actually just-
explore. You gotta still have to break every shovel, otherwise you're gonna miss stat boosters.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not a Fog of War map. I'm actually just a Fog of War map, but only one character can fucking activate the fucking Fog of War. Move it down a tier. Man, fuck, bro, put that shit in B tier, just for the snow maps.
All right, so we got what chapter is this?
3-3? 3-4? 3-3, I think. You should like widescreen it for the video. This, the entirety of this map sucks. Like everything, every part of this map is just annoying. There is there are like redeeming qualities to every Fire Emblem map. There are no redeeming qualities to this map.
All right, where do you think we should
Like-
put this one?
A tier.
A tier.
I'm just pissed that they put Celica on the side without the mages. The only two units that like can traverse the sand well that you have are like Catriopala, and more than like 80% of the enemies on this map are archers. And you're like, oh, what the fuck?
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yep.
But VEKO, you
Yeah.
you would put this in A tier? You said.
I put an A tier.
Okay, but VEKO, what if I told you this ain't the last one? Because
What do you mean?
under this. Same
Holy
turn
shit, is that
reinforced-
Shozo Kaga? Is that Shozo Kaga?
It Shozo Kaga himself.
Bro, does he have a silver spear? Is it?
Yeah, he has the silver lance.
I think he's in his own tier. Everything Shozo Kaga has done, like when you think about it, Fire Emblem was a beta test for tiering Saga. So,
True. Hey, you know what? So therefore, Shozo Kaga represents the entire tier list.
yeah, look at us, like, look at him cheesing, bro. He's cheesing. Leave him alone. He's happy.
That was when he created the Silver Lance Cav in FE6
Yeah.
before he got booted off. He's like,
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
kick me off? Well, bet. And then
Yeah. This is the day he was like grabbing his box of stuff from his locker, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey man,
Yeah.
I know you literally created the fucking franchise. Well, you can have a peek. You can have a squiz of this one." He's like, "Oh, has everyone gone on break real quick?" And then he like quickly coded in Silver Lance, third turn reinforcement, and it was like fucking left.
Yeah, before, like, he's talking to his coworker, one hand on the keyboard, you know,
Yeah,
like
he's like
Kaga's
plugged in a
last
USB.
stand. Yeah. He like
got a
physically
USB.
typed out Kaga's last stand in English too. That's what's crazy
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. This is the most accurate enemy tier list. If you disagree with any of this, you're wrong.
True.
And if you made it to the end of this video, why?